Guys, hope you're all well. Right, continuing with the charming little BSA. Our chain case, primary cover, whichever one you wish to call it. As you've seen in the last video, we got that in primer, and I've given it a bit of a flat out. I did break through to bare metal in a couple of places, so I've just given that a very light dusting of normal primer, just so we're not laying the top colour coat onto bits of bare metal. So there's a good chance it'll probably fish eye there or something. Yeah, it won't go well. So I'm going to give that a bit of a rub down with a Tack rag in a moment, and we'll get the top coat on that. Then I'm going to drag the bike in because we need to prepare the bike, because we've still got all that gungy stuff on the bike where this bolt's on. So we're going to get all that clean and just go around the bike in general, doing a bit more cleaning and stuff like that. So it's at its best. And yeah, we're very close to ticking that job off the list. I've just been chatting with the gentleman who owns the Francis Barnet. He will be coming to collect that as soon as he can. He's very, very busy. And then obviously we'll have the next little project on the bench, the next behind the scenes. I'm just chipping away at a few of these just to get them out the way, basically. In between some of these jobs, I have got a cleaning job to do, which I may call in. Someone wants their bike properly cleaning, so I may just call that in. That'll be a nice sort of interim job to do while we're shuffling the bigger projects round. And I've got to go and drag that big BMW GS back in here very, very soon. I'm really looking forward to that one. Anyway, let's crack on with this. A little bit of Tack rag. I don't know if anyone has ever used this. I don't know if it's an old-fashioned thing or what. But this basically just picks any debris off the surface. You're only supposed to give it a really light rub, because it's got like a waxy residue on there. And if you go and rub hard, which I did the very first time I used one of these, and you end up leaving a waxy residue on what you want to paint, which is obviously no good. Yeah, I'd done that. I initially thought, what's the point in these? These are useless. But no, they're really good. I say, it just gets any loose debris off the surface, but you literally, no pressure on it, just glance it over the surface, and it even picks up, you know, any of the, because I've flattened it out, you'll get this residue of dust on there. It gets all that off as well. Obviously we're not going to get it absolutely perfect. This is a typical shed job, and again, like we did with the tank, we've got to age this finish slightly so it matches the rest of the bike. I think if someone does end up with this bike, it would be a shame to change it, but it is actually an ideal candidate for a proper restoration, because it's still got so many of the original bits on the bike. It would be the perfect bike to do, but I just don't think it needs it. It looks fantastic as it is. It's, like I say, it's just got this certain charm about it that I can't quite place my finger on it, but I like it. Right, there we go. That'll do us. And obviously the paint that I ended up with is gloss, and we'll get it done, then dull it off a little bit. Here we go. Right, we'll let that flash off a little bit, and we'll do a couple of them. Coat number 2. we go. I think one more after that and that'll do us. Final coat done. It looks far too good. Obviously we've got to mess about with that. I wouldn't mind having a go at painting properly, you know, a proper spray gun. Because the stuff I do is like just small stuff like that. And fuel tanks. It's about the biggest thing you do. I could set up a little tent for that, couldn't I? As long as it's got good lighting and it's not cold. Yeah. Not do it like for people. They're totally and utterly on a hobby level. Never know, might get good at it. But yeah, I wouldn't want to go. Sure, there's a cheap spray gun I could pick up. I've got the compressor. I think I need a water catch on there. Maybe something to look into. Anyway, while that's going off, we'll drag the little BSA back in and we'll prepare things for when this is all ready to go back on. Right, this is flashing off a little bit, so I'm just going to get the masking tape off. I just find it a little bit easier to get off before the paint sets totally. Job done. That's better. We should get a much better seal with the gasket with it like that. Let's have a look, see how it's going round here. Not too bad. Not too bad for a rattle can job. Shame I've got to dull it off. You know, obviously it'd look totally stupid putting it on the bike like that with the way that is. But, right, I've got to quickly pop out, grab some things, and then we'll get on with tidying the engine up where this has got a bolt to when I come back. Okay, several hours later. That's now sat on there, all ready to do the aging process. Yeah, nobody was in the house, and I was expecting a parcel, and so I had to go and sit in the house, and it didn't turn up. I checked the parcel delivery company out and they deliver up till 9 o'clock, and it didn't turn up. So I've had a whole wasted evening. Never mind, I'll try and do a little bit to recover. So I'm going to get some of that mess off the inner chain case, inner primary, because we can't leave it like that, that's for sure. Let's sit down. Oh, on the lowest stool in the world. Right, yeah, we've got to get all that mess off there. I'm hoping with this scraper we'll get majority of it off. It's still very, very sticky actually, that stuff. I think I mentioned I ordered the gasket, and I also found the cork washers for the footrest. So they are all on the way. In the meantime, we might as well do all these little jobs and get it sorted. Look down here, look. There's that much gum been put on this thing that was all oozing on the inside. Look at that. There we go. I've always had a bit of a, not dislike, but caution with gasket sealer. To be honest, you've got good quality gaskets, you don't really need it. I suppose some people like to put it on just as an extra precaution, but I always say if it's oozing outside, it's also oozing inside to the engine, especially on the engine itself. Not so critical on this chain drive, but on the engine itself, you get all that stuff breaking free, get into any oil ways, you could be in a lot of very expensive trouble just for putting too much sealant on. Anyway, right, that's the thick of it off. I want to get all the sticky residue off now. I've got some dodgy cleaner. It's from Area 51. This is the chloroform for aliens. Special delivery. Right. This should get all that gooey stuff off. Oh, that's coming straight off, that is. That ain't too bad at all, actually. I don't know whether to take the paint off this surface as well. This was definitely what was leaking, this chain case, because this bike's been sat here for several hours, and where it was leaking was about here, like in line with this bit, and there's absolutely nothing. Unless something else is empty. I shouldn't joke about that. That's better. Let's get that off there. Yeah, I've got see, that's not very good. I've got some nice thick cork washers coming. I ain't gonna see how much. Anything, any little jobs like this is an improvement anyway. Right, that's all nice and clean now. All the residue of the sealer is gone. I've just took the surround off that lovely old Lucas horn. I'm going to try and just brighten it up slightly. Not go mad, but just make it a little bit better than what it is. You don't see many with this still on. A lot of the ones I've been looking at recently, just, you know, getting ideas and all that, have got that modern chrome on with the slots in. So yeah, it's nice that it's still got this on. I'm going to give it a little bit of a polish. That's a little bit better. Let's give it a bit of a sheen. Yeah, that's better, definitely. Worth doing, that was. There we go, another bit improved. Right then, I'm running out of things to do. It's getting late, so I can't do anything noisy. I think it's nearly midnight. So, yeah, I think that's it. The horn looks a lot better, though. That's another little bit freshened up. Much, much better. I can't really do a lot with the BSA now till we get the chain case gaskets. I'm going to put that out in the sun tomorrow. Let that bake off a little bit more before we have a little bit of a messing about with the aging process like I did on the tank. So basically all the bike matches. I'll go have a shuffle round with bikes and get the next behind the scenes job on the bench. I'll probably do that tomorrow. So tomorrow might be a bit of an organising day. I'll see if anything goes on. I might share a little bit, you know, swapping things around and all that. And I've got a bit of a job to do on my bike as well, on the BMW. I've been meaning to do this for a long time. So these BMs, as quick as they are, they seem to rev quite high in top gear. And on long distances, and sometimes you'll find yourself going for another gear that's not there. It's not a major problem. You only really spot it now and again when you're a bit forgetful. But I looked into it, and sprockets for that bike, you know, as in different sizes, are non-existent virtually. They're very, very hard to find. Done quite a bit of research online. There's a few people actually getting sprockets made because they just couldn't find them. Anyway, quite a while ago now, I managed to find one. So I got it, and it's been knocking around the shed for quite a long time. So I have a chain coming tomorrow because that chain of sprockets been on that bike since I've had it. I don't know how long it was on there before I got it. So now I've got that sprocket, I'm going to try it and see if it knocks the RPM down a little bit when you're in top gear. Even if it does it a little bit, I reckon it'll be better. I don't know. Bit of an experiment. So if the chain comes, I might do that tomorrow. So that bike sits, 71 mile an hour at about 5,000 RPM. It just sounds like it's screaming a bit. Because I do a lot of long distance stuff, especially when you're going through Germany and places like that where you've sat on autobahns for a long time. Just to have the RPM down a tiny bit, I just think it'll feel better. So if that comes tomorrow, I might try that out and go and test it again, see if it does make a bit of a difference. I don't know. It should do, but it's worth trying. I'll say that sprocket's been knocking around for ages now. Anyway, it's late at night. I'm running out of things to do, as in tinkering with the BSA, and I don't really want to be opening other sheds up and swapping things around this time of night. So I'm going to call it a video at that. A little bit of a catch up. It's a little bit more progress on the BSA. It'll be, next video on the BSA. That should be done. Sorted. Anyway, that'll do. Cheers for watching, guys. Catch you soon.